GTA 6 pre-orders have collapsed. It's over. Take-Two out the window. Or at least that's what some people are currently claiming. Now, I personally think that's most likely over-exaggerated. The reality is, no matter how the pre-orders look, which platform has one or whatever, GTA 6 is probably going to be the most sold game no matter what in less than 3 months at this point after release, and when the PC release hits, it's gonna completely eclipse the record for most sold game ever. But that does not mean that the investors are happy with this. Oh, and that's the big thing. That's what Take-Two wants. So let's see if there's any truth to this.
As we await our first real look of Grand Theft Auto 6 in action since May of 2025, yes, it has been that long, there's a lot going on with GTA 6. A lot has been revealed the last couple of days, and we also just have a lot of new reports, such as Rockstar Games supposedly sitting down with employees who are threatening to go on strike. There's a unionization effort right now. That has been a whole mess going back and forth for about a year or two now, and it kind of is.
The unionization thing potentially could delay GTA 6, by the way. I'm not kidding. If it goes bad, if Rockstar loses key personnel, it could be really bad. Because at this point, GTA 6 should theoretically be finished, but it's probably really buggy. And now GTA 6 has more than 100 days-ish to fix a lot of bugs, shine it up, polish it and whatnot. And if that doesn't happen, if the GTA 6, like, we talk about what would happen if GTA 6 failed, right? We talk about that it's going to be the biggest game ever. But what happens if it's a Cyberpunk 2077 release? What happens if it's a Fallout 76 release? Can you imagine the absolute destruction and chaos that's gonna happen if GTA 6 release is a buggy mess? And this right here, the unionization thing could potentially lead to it. And if it's bad, it could even get delayed. Imagine GTA 6 gets delayed now. That would be horrible.
Hitting a boiling point right in the lead up to one of the biggest game launches of all time. Straightening that out kind of has to be done sooner rather than later. But there is also pre-order numbers coming in from Microsoft, and they seemingly are pissed off about it because there's been reports saying that PlayStation GTA 6 pre-orders are like 8-1 to Xbox, and Xbox ain't too happy.
Yeah, makes sense. Their marketing literally for PlayStation is currently best place to play Xbox or something like that. I don't know how true it is, but PlayStation does have more powerful magic in it than Xbox, and, well, needless to say, I'm gonna choose the place where I can play GTA 6 the best. Now, if I cannot play it on PC, I'm gonna choose the second best place, and that seems like consoles, PlayStation specifically. Honestly, I would not be surprised if there are people who have an Xbox and they're like, yeah, I cannot risk GTA 6 running on low FPS, stuttering, or lagging. I'm buying a PS5 now. I would not be surprised if there is a huge amount of people like that currently.
About that, as they even weirdly enough came out with their own public statement to Windows Central saying that that's not true. Grand Theft Auto 6 on Xbox is record-breaking pre-orders and people should wait for real data, which is kind of bizarre. But when you have PlayStation and Rockstar Games having such a heavy marketing presence together, because Sony certainly coughed up a decent amount of cash for that partnership and they are utilizing it to the maximum potential, that GTA 6 plays best on PlayStation 5 marketing slogan is being put on almost every single thing that Sony can find and come up with. But right now, something that we are seeing with GTA 6 pre-orders is that scalpers are already making money from Grand Theft Auto 6. It's just kind of bizarre that this is happening for pretty much a digital-only release. But
it's not bizarre, it should be impossible. The fact that scalpers are literally making money because some people are literally too stupid to understand that digital codes don't run out. Yeah.
Yes, on eBay, people are paying well over retail price to reserve a copy, even though Rockstar's official stock is not in short supply right now. Maybe it's because Rockstar's website kind of scared some people into thinking that this is like something they're going to run out of, so people are, I guess, going to eBay, but it's a bizarre thing. As this is reported by 80 Level, there were several reports that players have been purchasing GTA 6 pre-order copies from eBay sellers at prices above retail. The prices for resold copies vary from $90 to $120 on eBay, and overall range from above $85 to nearly $140. And yes, there are screenshots of actual
And this is for base edition, by the way.
eBay purchases happening. It's just truly bizarre. Even more so because of what we're about to get into and some of the data that's coming out from retailers, which paint a very unpleasant picture about how Grand Theft Auto 6 is doing with their code in a box shit that they pulled. Now, we already know that a couple of retailers are just outright refusing to sell GTA 6 until there's a physical disc. This actually came from two indie retailers, one of the biggest ones that's still around. That was a very notable decision that went viral on social media, but GameStop and Co., those places are still selling the code in a box. And some of these GameStops are now reporting that it has been a total disaster and just there's limited interest in this method. As Polygon reports, GTA 6 is shaping up.
By the way, how crazy is honestly this that there are people too stupid to understand it don't need to buy GTA 6 on eBay, but at the same time, that box and the code thing is not working out for retail stores. That is just crazy. We live in completely two diametrically opposed oppositions.
To be a disaster for retailers. Whether it sells like hotcakes or flops, Rockstar's game could dictate the future of some store chains. And as they write, for stores like GameStop, which rely on sales and trade-ins of physical discs, the game's digital nativity isn't a minor detail. Since news of the lack of actual discs broke, GameStop workers are expressing worry that a digital-first GTA 6 puts the retail chain's future in jeopardy. And it further mentions that at the very least, codes will be a pain for retail.
Honestly, this sounds as pathetic as the indie developers who were saying, the sales song needs to think about the other indie devs. No, it doesn't. Make a good game. Shut up.
Employees, GameStop workers claim,
as some Space Marine chapter probably said, weakness is a choice.
That in general, they're expected to maintain high numbers for things like pre-orders, memberships, and warranties. Right now, many GTA 6 fans are wondering if pre-ordering the physical edition of the game is even worth it. And they actually have specific games.
Yeah, the answer to that is a whopping no.
GameStop alleged employees that are talking about their experiences thus far trying or getting people to pre-order GTA 6. The first one we have is from an assistant store leader saying, because it wasn't physical and we didn't have the Ultimate Edition, we ended a day that I fully expected to be flooded with 500 pre-orders with 5 pre-orders. My
Jeez, that's a 1% on spot.
Mental prepared itself for nothing. And it forgot to mention that 3 of the pre-orders only did it for the map, which is not confirmed at all, and they acknowledge this. Nobody knows if there is going to be a map, and it feels like something, if there was going to be a map, that Rockstar Games would have advertised by now. Which, again, it just points to the greed that has happened here with this physical edition, which isn't really a physical edition by any means. Another person saying, I'm good. I enjoyed sympathizing with customers when I told them we can't pre-order the Ultimate Edition. I didn't get a single pre-order for GTA because...
That is actually wild. Why can't stores pre-order the Ultimate Edition? I don't get that.
Of that, and I laughed my ass off. Another person, a senior guest advisor, saying our store is at 11 and our store goal is 200. Somebody's also responding saying, same here, our store goal by Sunday is 200 and the goal for today was 50. We ended with 30, but we would have had way more if there was an actual physical copy of the game.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Another individual saying it really wasn't crazy for me. I had more people asking about the One Piece OP17 cards that are coming out in August than GTA 6, less than 5 pre-orders. It was a really standard day. The phone didn't even blow up. Another person saying, an employee, I had 11 pre-orders yesterday, only one of them was GTA LMAO. A manager saying, I've already been reprimanded for the lack of pre-orders at my store. We literally kept a tally of the reasons why they say that they didn't want it, and here's the results. Pre-ordered, 3. No physical disc, 19. Too expensive, 8. Buying elsewhere, 24. Not interested, 38.
The not interested probably seems large, but keep in mind, again, GTA may be the biggest game ever, or the biggest human event ever, but Mr. Beast also has 500 million subscribers, and most of them allegedly are somehow not Indians and Chinese, and yet No one, I can't find anyone in Europe or America who actually watches Mr. Beast or is subscribed to him, which is very, very suspicious if you ask me.
Employee also saying we are in fact not okay. Everyone is acting as if we decided not to have a physical game and as if we decided not to have the ultimate. We, as in the store level employees, of course. I had people almost cuss me out over it. It's just wild lately. This company is not worth all this stress from terrible customers, and that goes, if you've ever worked
Yeah, that sounds weak.
in retail, this is how just people are. They'll always
Yeah, this is how people are in literally every single job that you could ever have.
throw blame at the person in front of them rather than the company that they're actually dealing with, who makes all of these decisions and such. Another employee saying, my only pre-order was for the new Wolverine game, LOL. No one really came in for GTA. A couple more current and former employees, one saying, I believe we only got about 10 between PS5 and Xbox. I went into my old store around like 6 or 6-ish, and they had a total of 3 GTA 6 pre-orders. And one employee had to clarify exactly what's going on, and they said that, isn't the Ultimate Edition just an upgrade you can buy separately? What else is it? And somebody who is an employee, I believe, saying, yes, it is just DLC. You can also buy it in a single package digitally, but you don't get a discount for doing so. So Ultimate Edition or Standard Edition plus Ultimate Edition upgrade will both give you the same thing for the same price. And I believe that that literally is the thing. You're not getting like a special, like limited edition, physical copy. It is literally just the standard with a DLC code inside, which gives you the Ultimate Edition goodies, if I'm reading the situation right. But Polygon also has a couple more employees in their own story saying, since GameStop employees have to explain the unusual situation surrounding the game, displeased customers can take their anger out on workers. The situation at some stores is bad enough that stores are directing employees to try and communicate the benefits of buying a box with a code in it, which is pure desperation from GameStop corporate. Every customer I had today walked away when I informed them that it was a download code and no Ultimate Edition, one worker claimed. And yes, this GameStop nightmarish story is something that parallels what we heard that was coming out of local retailers in South Africa, in which a reporter said that word from local retailers in South Africa shows abysmal GTA 6 pre-order numbers so far in the country.
I remembered this. I mean, it's Africa, so I did kind of laugh about this.
The code in a box is the worst thing that could have happened locally. If the game had a disc, we would have seen hundreds of orders within hours, yet some stores are sitting on single-digit numbers, as we're seeing with GameStop. This issue also greatly affects businesses in South Africa, as stock allocations had already been fulfilled before the no disc announcement, so South Africa is going to be stuck with a boatload of game copies and no one buying them. Not to mention retailers won't make a cent from the game's launch, which is also just sad to see. There was a time when the industry worked together. Devs made games, retailers sold them, and helped put food on tables for everyone. Now it's just about the corporations making money. And yeah, that last sentence is very relevant not just to Rockstar Games, but also, well, one of the biggest console makers that pretty much just put an end to physical media, period. And that decision coming from Sony is being blamed on Rockstar Games. You have viral posts like this one, 91,000 likes as a recording. Greatest game of all time. GTA 6 will be the GOAT. Rockstar always cooks. Kills the entire gaming industry in 7 days. And I do have to say, it is like a 1-2 that we just got hit with. Like, Rockstar Games made the announcement, the most highly anticipated game of all time, not having a physical release, and then it was followed up not even a week later by Sony just saying physical media is done by 2028. Not great at all. And then there was the Marvel's Wolverine disc announcement, which is kind of meaningless now. Like, they tried to score some PR points from GTA 6's controversial announcement.
Yeah, there are some actually companies that are trying to do it. Obviously, having a disc is pretty nice, but it's kind of just apply a little bit of ice to the wound.
But yeah, their parent company kind of ruined that. And another company that really will be in trouble, which is kind of the center focus.
You know what I saw? I saw a really good post about Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, that their banner on Twitter is physical discs. Now, granted, they're not game discs; they're from the karaoke machine or whatever the fuck it's called. But they are discs and they are physical.
Of this video is GameStop. Like, they sell Funko Pops and cards and such nowadays, but they are going to be in trouble in this new reality. And also
Bro, I didn't even get on the Funko Pop empire and it already died. Wow.
Fact that right now with Grand Theft Auto 6, you have some threads coming from employees saying that anyone else's district manager stores banning, telling, or talking to customers about GTA 6 being a code in the box. That is just wild, like desperation. And as one actual GameStop employee said,
No.
I've been telling people that, again, it is just a code in the box, which is why my reservations for it is so low, but I would rather them not reserve than come back and cancel the reserves when they find out. Now, while
Again, we know from the PlayStation Insomniac leak that easily 70% of all games that can be bought on disc are bought on disc. Now, granted, we do have an update on this slightly from someone who claims to be an insider in all of this and knows the store data, and that is, you sell a game for $70. If it's a digital copy, they get like $40 or something. If it's not a digital, if it's a physical copy, they get like 25, 26-ish dollars. Now, granted, I don't know how much I believe this. Obviously, the shipment, the retail, everyone needs to get their cut. But at the end of the day, I don't know how much I believe those numbers in kind of in a generalized sense. I think it should be actually more, but it's undoubtable that physical costs Rockstar more. So this is why they wanted to remove it, even though they're going to lose the business of people who only want to buy physical games, who exist. And again, if there is a possibility to buy GTA 6 on physical, I mean, PlayStation's own data show that 70% of people choose to buy physical when you can actually buy them.
retailers are taking massive hits right now, especially those that sell video game copies. We do have some politicians chiming in. We actually even have a French presidential candidate that slammed Grand Theft Auto 6 and Sony. This was Jean-Luc Mélenchon, a leading figure of the left-wing La France Insoumise party. I said that horribly wrong, but he finished third in
It's French, who cares?
France's 2022 presidential election with nearly 22% of the first round vote, and he made comments in a post on X which frames the industry move away from physical media as a consumer rights issue, that's exactly what it is. He said, with GTA 6 without a disc in 2026 and Sony's announcement of the end of physical disc sales for games in 2028, the question arises of how we view these products. Tomorrow,
imagine if Valve actually allows you to have discs. Imagine that. Imagine. But because I think Valve is going to do this. I think Valve is going to do this. Valve is gonna allow you to somehow attach a physical disc, and they're gonna have deals with, these companies that make games and they optimize it for the gaming cube, and they're gonna make it so if you do that and if you make a physical disc option that that you can sell them. Valve is gonna probably do the distribution and whatnot, and they're gonna probably give a better percent cut than Sony or Microsoft or whatever. I think Valve is gonna take the opportunity and go for the physical media if possible. Now, I don't know if that's gonna be a thing on the launch, but I do think it's gonna be real. I do think so.
you will pay without ever owning anything. No loan, no
Well, when I say that, I give that like a 40% chance, but that's a pretty high chance, honestly.
resale, no guarantee of keeping what we paid for. Video games are not mere merchandise, they are cultural assets, and the law enforced must apply to them. We will open the project in 2027. Players have rights too. He's not the only politician that has spoken out. We actually heard from a Brazilian lawmaker. Her post or criticism on X was largely focused on Sony, but she did make a point towards the end, closing with a personal note stating that she only has one game in her library, GTA, which she plays specifically for the airplane mission, and then that she does not accept this digital-only future.
More spine than a lot of people. Ironic.
And then there was also some action happening in the EU in which a parliament member, Leila Chaibi, also provided her thoughts, and she spoke about how there needs to be a way to save physical video games and linked to a petition. One thing has become quite clear this last week. GTA 6 no disc announcement and Sony's just killing of physical media, they are being grouped together. And then you throw on top the criticism of the paywalling of content with the Ultimate Edition. It's just a recipe for disaster. But ultimately, Rockstar Games, Take-Two Interactive, the parent company, they know that they can get away with this because GTA 6 is the most highly anticipated game of all time. And right now, there are some alleged pre-order numbers going around saying that $1 billion was made within the first. I mean, that's a given. This is.
Yeah, again, we don't know the real number, but the real number is probably high.
People have been waiting years for this game. This game's going to make mountains of money. Now, will it have the longevity that Grand Theft Auto 5 has had? Remains to be seen, but a lot of that will have to do with the quality of GTA 6 and if it is truly a revolutionary must-have game. Which personally myself and to many of you, we expect that out of Rockstar Games. Anything less would be a disappointment. And while the physical code in the box might be a massive dud moving forward, the Grand Theft Auto 6 physically with consoles, it's going to be a problem this fall. This is what some insiders are reporting, and it is everything to do with what's going on with AI. The shortages with chips and all of that, it is contributing to a lot of the chaos that we're seeing. Also with Sony's decision to move away from physical media. All of this contributes to what's happening with GTA 6. And this is something that was said to Games Business from an insider.
The biggest problem with GTA 6 is the fact we have seen no gameplay. No nothing. That there is no anything. We It's crazy that we're honestly accepting this. But yeah, again, there's nothing. We don't know anything. There's more negatives than there are positives about GTA 6 currently.
A senior games buyer speaking without the permission of his employer, saying we've been informed that because of the ongoing issues around hardware component availability, we won't be getting the units we want ahead of GTA. Demand will likely outstrip supply during the year-end period. And this is a little strange because Sony's CEO previously had told investors in May that for calendar year 2026, the necessary volume has been secured. Although, on the flip side of things, Xbox's chief strategy officer Matthew Ball told Games Business earlier in the month that there were already supply issues on their end. I can tell you definitively, demand for our consoles exceed the supply. We are putting them in as many stores as possible. We are producing them as quickly as possible. There's a severe limitation to how quickly we can do that, but it's not a question of appetite. We need to do more, but there are constraints here. So maybe this is just an Xbox related problem. I mean, they have so many issues going on this generation and lately, but I definitely am of the belief that waiting on hardware is a big mistake, especially with all of the AI stuff going on. It's just not a given that A, the hardware is going to be there, or B, it's going to be there for the price that it is right now. Prices just continue.
Do you think all the scalpers that bought the PSs and Xboxes are still sitting on the supply? Because if they are, oh boy, are they happy.
To surge and PlayStation consoles seeming they're going to be going up in price soon. So while I think this worry may be a little overstated and maybe a retailer just trying to push interest, at the same time, the market is just a total mess right now. And with the
By the way, that's my favorite bridge in GTA 5. Literally never use it. But it's my favorite because it's unique.
Amount of interest that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have later this fall, it would not surprise me to see that people just cannot get access to a console at a reasonable price. At least in 2027, we should have more additional versions of Grand Theft Auto 6, and that really is going to be the last hope that we actually get a physical version of this game in some capacity. And while we all expect that a PC version is going to come about, there is some noise already amounting about a Nintendo Switch 2 port of GTA 6, which is kind of insane just thinking about that. But yes, some insiders have been saying that technical hurdles have been overcome, especially since Switch 2 ports have been brought in via subcontract, and apparently that this is something in development. Other insiders in the last couple of months have also reported that Rockstar
Doesn't that seem a bit crazy?
Games and Take-Two Interactive were at the very least exploring this possibility. We'll see what comes of that. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6, again, it just feels like Rockstar Games shot themselves in the foot with how they re-revealed this game here in 2026. And with not having anything else coming alongside it, a trailer 3, people are just talking and they're center focused on the Ultimate Edition price and also what's happening here with the no physical disc. There is Just a lot of skepticism and doubt in the air, and hopefully Rockstar Games finally shows some gameplay or something more of Grand Theft Auto 6 beyond, screenshots and such. I think people are
It has to come, but when do you think it's gonna come? I I think they're gonna bait us until pretty much the release of GTA 6, but not showing any real gameplay. Because whatever they do at this point is gonna be disappointing. People are kind of upset, a lot of upset, honestly. And it's probably not gonna get better if they show gameplay screenshots because everyone's expecting downgrades. We already do have some pictures that are probably from inside the game, but you can see that the looks have been definitely downgraded. That, the stuff that we have seen in the early trailers, screenshots, and whatever are not exactly like it looks on what you can find in second viewing. So it's gonna be an interesting situation. Anyway, that was Lake Ezekiel HD 10 out of 10. Bye.